On this show, I head to the Black Sea town of Ordu, where they pay homage to the humble hazelnut.
Even monuments in the middle of the town, which I suppose is a nut. What the hell is that?
And at a Georgian family get-together, I sample a range of uniquely Georgian Turkish dishes.
So different from what we've seen from the rest of Turkey.
I'm on a journey to discover the origins and secrets of Turkish cuisine. To really understand this food, I need to get to the source. So come with me as I travel from the Aegean Sea to the plains of Anatolia. From the heart of an empire in the west to the brooding Black Sea of the north. Then it's back to my kitchen to use what I've learned and give it my own spin. Along the ancient trade routes that crisscross this country, countless cultures have left their mark. Every dish is a history lesson, and every region, another piece of Turkey's rich culinary mosaic. I'm here in Ordu, in the north of Turkey, on the Black Sea coastline, to fill in another piece of the puzzle. One of the first things I've noticed about Ordu is this city is crazy about nuts. There are nuts everywhere.
Even monuments in the middle of the town, which I suppose is a nut. What the hell is that?
The hazelnut is this area's specialty, but I wonder how they got here. I'm meeting up with Istanbul lawyer, Salin Chol, whose Georgian ancestors were some of the many who came to Ordu just over 100 years ago, bringing with them the hazelnuts.
Well, this is very exciting.
We're riding the telepherique to the town of Boztepe, high in the mountains overlooking Ordu, to meet with Salin's uncle Enes, a cultural ambassador for all things Georgian Turk.
Enis amca, biz geldik.
Hoş geldin. Hayırdır?
Merhaba,
Ne?
geldik.
Ne iş? Kim
Bu
bu?
şey.
Şey,
Hi.
merhaba.
It's freezing here.
Aynen. Enis amca bize biraz Gürcülerin nasıl buraya geldiğini anlatsana. Shane bilmek istiyor.
Bundan 130 sene kadar önce Ruslar Batum'u işgal edince oradaki Gürcüler padişahın izniyle, padişah hatta buradan onlara gemi gönderiyor. O gemiyle yola çıkıyorlar Bursa'ya gitmek üzere. Fakat çok büyük fırtına olduğu için buradan daha ileri geçemiyorlar.
The local Turks didn't accept the Georgians in the beginning, and they left to live in the hills above Ordu, where they planted hazelnuts.
Kızalık vermeler, arada gidiş gelişler. Ama şu anda öyle bir şey yok. Bütün halklar birbirine karıştı. Her şey normale döndü.
Where are the actual hazelnuts? Like, where are they farmed?
150 kilometre bu çevrede her tarafta böyle yükseklere kadar hep fındık var. Ama şu anda fındık mevsimi bitti, hasat bitti. Yalnız Gölköy bir kasabamız var bizim yükseklerde. 100 kilometre daha yukarıda. O kasabaya gidersek orada fındık hasatını görebilirsin. O zaman götürmeye içelim.
On Enes's advice, I'm heading to Goldkor, thousands of metres above sea level, to join the hazelnut harvest. It's late in the season, but up here, the hazelnuts are last to ripen. Ordu produces most of the hazelnuts harvested in Turkey, and Turkey is the world's biggest producer. Fatma Atesh is a third-generation hazelnut farmer, and I'm in luck. She still has nuts to harvest.
And these are the hazelnuts.
Yeah.
You know, I've never seen anything like this. I didn't really know what to expect. And they're all manually harvested like this. You
Yeah.
take them all off.
Yeah, unfortunately we don't have a machine for it now.
And there's a lot of trees here. How many trees would be on her property?
Fatma teyze, kaç ağacın var burada?
3000.
He has 3,000.
3,000 trees.
Yeah.
Do you know, like, roughly how much she'd harvest from, like, how many nuts? How many kilos?
Fatma teyze kaç kilo çıkıyor peki 3000 ağaçtan?
O mevsimine göre bir 3 ton çıkıyor. 3000 ağaçtan 3000 çıkar, 5000 çıkar. Her zaman aynı çıkmıyor.
That's a lot, isn't it? So she must have some help.
I know, but you never know with Georgian women.
The harvested nuts are then dried in the sun before reaching full flavour. I've always known hazelnuts in sweets and liqueur, but Fatma's going to show me other ways of using them. She's making a spread of dishes for a family feast, which have been passed down over generations. First up, she's making a mixture of hazelnuts, basil and garlic that she'll be using for a bean dish and also for a salad.
And is this something that's just like Georgian? Is this just from this area?
Fatma teyzeciğim bu salatanın sadece buraya özel olup olmadığını soruyor Shane. Yöresel bir salata mı bu?
Bize özel yani, Gürcülere özel salata.
Sadece Gürcülerde
Evet,
var değil mi?
evet.
Restoranlarda,
Yok,
klasik
yok,
mutfağında yok böyle
Görmedim.
bir şey.
Bizde var
Siz
bu.
kimden öğrendiniz?
Büyük annelerimizden, anneannelerimizden, büyüklerimizden.
This mixture is then added to black cabbage that has been boiled and chopped. Then Fatma adds a few more bits and pieces.
Bu da yeşil biber salataya döküyorum. Bu da böyle fındık, içinde sarımsak, kinzi, reyhan.
One of the things that makes Georgian food unique is the sauces, or dressings known as ziti. To give this dish extra kick, Fatma reveals a secret ingredient favoured by her Georgian forebears.
What's this?
Ekşi, erik ekşisi.
It looks really good. There's lots of things happening in a salad. And nothing worse than boring salads that are just leaf and vinegar. And there's olive oil going in there, there's nuts, there's spice, there's, fresh onion, blanched leaves, and then that plum molasses, which is going to be really sweet. It's going to be a really, really kick-ass dish. I'm all over it.
Wait until you taste it.
Oh, I can imagine. It's going to be great.
The smells coming from Fatma's cooking brings in Uncle Enes and the rest of the family, eager to eat this sumptuous meal. This is a real home-cooked feast, Georgian style, with everyone pitching in to help get the food on the table. There's a multitude of dishes to choose from, like lubia, a braised bean dish using those hazelnuts, different versions of borek, and breads.
Looks like every Georgian for 100 miles is here, the whole village. Really keen to see how that salad tastes. Lots of spice from the pepper and the green chilli. A freshness from that chopped onion. A little bit of sweetness from the plum. Just really hit it on the head. Seen them farming it, seen her cooking it. Cracker dish.
Kusura bakma da anca bir yemeklik. Çok yapamadım.
Fazla bile. Bak sos çalıyorum. Bir de mısır ekmeği çal. Yok öyle numara. Bize gelip yersin. Evlenmediler.
No doubt about it, plenty of great things come from the mountains above Ordu. Up here, in the hills above the Black Sea coastline, it's not just hazelnut trees that cover the mountain slopes. This area is also abundant with tea.
It's times like this, I feel really lucky. I feel blessed to be doing this show. Look how amazing this place is. Seeing all these tea fields on the side of mountains. This is a really beautiful place.
I'm here to meet Bilal Topal from the tea farm Kiran.
Merhaba, hoş geldiniz.
Hi. These are great, I need to get one of these. It helped me a lot with the hedge trimming at home. Wow, is that just the top?
Şu yeşil yaprakları 2,5 yaprağını alıyoruz. Çay olan kısmı bu, kaliteli de kısmı bu. Sonra oldukça doğal, organik, hiçbir katkı maddesi yok, ilacı yok. Cenab-ı Allah ne verdiyse mübarek, biz onu kesiyoruz.
Well, that's really interesting. What he's saying is all they use is the top 2.5 leaves. So when they're trimming, they're just taking that off. Everything here you see is all organic and it's just grown with what nature's got to offer.
And like the coffee in Turkey, the taste of the tea is distinctive.
And don't be mistaken, the tea does taste different. It's not like the Earl Grey you have back at home. It is a little bit stronger and a little bit more bitter. But because of that, I think it's going to work really well with some food. And there's a couple of dishes that I think I could really work with this tea.
It's impossible to imagine the mountains surrounding Ordu without the Georgian Turkish community. And I'm really getting to like their food. It's all part of the rich variety Turkey has to offer. Luckily, Celine scored me an invite to another Georgian Turkish family meal, close by. The Atabayolu family have called this stone house near the village of Bahanaton home for the best part of a century. I'm going to help Celine and Yadiga Atabayolu harvest vegetables from her garden for today's cook-up.
Hi, Celine.
How are you?
Hi.
This is Yadigar.
Merhaba.
Wow, there's a bit of a selection going on here.
Yeah.
What are you guys picking?
it's black cabbage.
Oh, this is the stuff that was in the salad that we made.
Yeah.
Looks different from the black cabbage that I know. The black cabbage I see in Australia is really
Yeah.
dark.
And I have no idea why they call it black cabbage. They are green actually, but
It tastes very similar though.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's still got that like cabbagey taste. There's heaps going on in here. There's eggplants and chilies and capsicums. Must be nice having your own supermarket in your backyard.
yeah.
All of these will be put to great use in the kitchen of this charming old-style home. Celine's uncle Enes is here too, no doubt for another great feed.
Ines,
Oo, hoş geldin. Şanslısın.
nice to see you.
Güzel yemekler var bugün. Gürcü yemekler var, harika. Gel.
You are lucky we have nice food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. Merhaba.
Merhaba.
So what are we making with the black cabbage?
She's gonna cook the black cabbage soup, and with the other ones, she's gonna cook the sarma.
Yadiga's great-grandfather came to Ordu from Georgia. She's considered one of the finest Georgian Turkish home cooks in the region. And it's not long before she reveals some secret ingredients of Georgian cooking.
Onu Çerkez tavuğunda kullanacağız. Safrana. Gürcüce yemeklerde
Say saffron.
kullanılır.
No, it's like zaprana. How do you call it?
These are just marigold flowers. Is this the same
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, they just dry it, and then this one. They use this one. One of the typical Georgian spices.
It's a pretty sort of, I don't want to say bland. It hasn't got a big flavour. It's not like you're tasting it and you're tasting saffron or you're tasting cumin or turmeric. It's fairly mellow, isn't it?
Yadiga will use this soprana later for a dish called Cassian chicken. But for now, she's making sarma, with her mother-in-law Sevim keeping a close watch.
We'll have food. And is she the supervisor in the corner?
Bunu yıkıyoruz.
That she is.
Haşlamak için
She keeps
yapıyorum.
an eye on them all
Make
the
sure they're all
time.
doing it properly.
For the sarma, the black cabbage is cooked in boiling water and then filled.
Are you gonna help her with rolling?
I think I'll give it a go. I've rolled a few dolma and vine leaves before. Don't want to sound too confident because I'll probably stuff it up. But so what's the filling?
İçinde pirinç, kıyma var.
There are some red meats.
Yeah, some lamb.
Sığır eti.
Yeah.
Pirinç var. Soğan var.
Chopped
Sarımsak.
onions.
Maydanoz. Karabiber, pul biber. Baharat olarak.
It's not unusual to combine various meats, like lamb and beef, as Yadiga is doing here.
Beautiful.
Sarıyoruz.
Yeah.
Like a professional. I think it's nicer with the black cabbage. It's not as strong flavour.
Hazırlamış halde.
Ah, you've already got some
Suyunu
cooked. So what did she cook it in? What's this?
Salça, yağ. Salça, yağda salçayı eritip üzerine gezdirdim. Hafif buğulandırdım bozulmasın diye. Şimdi suyunu verip pişireceğim.
Bunlar da bahçeden mi? Şeftaliler.
Evet, her şey yok.
While the sarma is cooking, dessert is also being prepared. A simple dish of baked fresh peach halves smothered in sugar with a dash of cinnamon.
Şekerle pişecek. Şencan nerede?
Yadiga is now turning her attention to the Circassian chicken, a Georgian dish that has become a Turkish classic. Except this one doesn't feature the local hazelnuts, but walnuts instead. She makes a sauce using breadcrumbs, ground coriander and salt, which is coated all over the cooked chicken. This sauce also features the soprana, or ground flour we saw earlier. This is a dish served cold, and Celine assures me that it's even better the day after it's been made. To finish it off, a touch of the soprana is cooked in oil and poured on top.
Ceviz mi koyayım? Olsun diye. Şöyle estetik olsun, görüntü olsun içinde var ya hani süslerler ya servis için.
The food is ready, the tables are being prepared, and my belly is rumbling. I can't wait to taste this unique Georgian Turkish food. And I can't think of a better setting than in this family garden, in the lush mountains above Ordu.
What people were telling me was right. You can't talk about Turkish cuisine until you've experienced what there is around this place. It's not just about nuts, is it? You know, all the guys around here, they've really created their own amazing cuisine based from, you know, their heritage and cuisine that they've brought with them and what the land has to offer. You know, beautiful produce, hazelnuts, all those gorgeous spices. It's really something special, so different from what we've seen from the rest of Turkey. And I'm glad I'm here.
I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for showing me.
Hadi söyle başla o zaman.
Lale devri güzel olurdu.
Yar benziyor beyaz o gül benim hayatımdır.
The hazelnuts of the Ordu region is my flavour inspiration for smoked duck with cornbread, chicken dumplings with soup, and peach tart with hazelnut crumb.
I think it's pretty obvious by my travels through Ordu that I have to produce some dishes with hazelnuts. There was hazelnuts everywhere in that joint. So I'm going to produce a couple of dishes. The first one's going to be some cornbread with chicken dumplings and a little hazelnut and black cabbage soup. I need to get my soup on the go.
For the base, I add butter, onions and corn, red capsicum paste, and soaked cannellini beans.
Just give it a good mix.
Then I add cornmeal and water and bring it to a simmer.
It's going to take about 20 to 30 minutes to cook those beans properly. Then I'll come back, add the rest of the ingredients.
I've made some cornbread, which I've broken into crumbs to make chicken dumplings for the soup.
All right, to the cornbread, I'm going to add chicken mince, pinch of salt, some red pul biber, and some egg white. I'm just going to chop up a little bit of parsley. So I've kept it a pretty rustic dumpling mix. I'm just going to roll those up into some balls, poach them in some water, finish them up with some butter and hazelnuts. Nearly done. All right, so that's been gently ticking over, and all those beans are cooked.
To top off the soup, I'm adding kale, salt and lemon juice to the pot.
Give it a stir and that should be done. So I've got some really slowly boiling water, and all I want to do is just set the protein or just cook that chicken. And to finish those, into a pan, some olive oil, butter, and to that I'm going to add a little ingredient that I smuggled in, or well, I did declare it, from Ordu. Some of the smallest hazelnuts I've ever seen in my life. Really nice and sweet. They're going to go great with your soup. And add these beautiful chicken dumplings. Good hit of spice and some lemon zest. Those nuts are all nicely toasted and they're done. Put in the bowl. Some of the chicken dumplings. Some of that pepper butter just over the top. So that's a really simple dish that people are going to come back time and time again. Corn, kale and chicken dumpling soup. This dish for me really sums up the Black Sea region. Rolling tea fields, biggest producer of hazelnuts in the world. So what we're doing is some fermented black garlic mayonnaise, tea and hazelnut smoked duck, and a black cabbage salad that they showed me how to make in Ordu. So I wasn't joking when I said everything in that town was hazelnuts, and I thought, why not use the husks? You know, I thought it'd be great fuel for smoking to try to get a little bit of that hazelnut flavour, not just in the salad, but into the smoke that's going to penetrate the duck. So I'm going to get that on straight away. So I'm just going to add this Turkish tea.
Simply add the tea leaves to the hazelnut husks with a pinch of salt. Then it's into the smoker for 20 minutes.
All right, to go with the duck, I thought it needed a little bit of creaminess and it needed a bit of sweetness. So where I'm going to for that is some of this black garlic. It's been fermented, so it's turned black because of all the sugars that have caramelised during the fermentation process. It's really sweet.
I'm going to make a mayonnaise with it, adding 3 egg yolks, 1 whole egg, mustard and oil into the mixer. Season with lemon juice and salt and you're done.
So I'm just going to take that out, put it in a squeezy bottle and go make my salad. So I've got some blanched black cabbage, some diced shallots, sliced spring onions. Just to liven it up a little bit, I'm going to add some young basil leaves, a good hit of pul biber. So now you just have to make the sauce. Clove of garlic, bit of salt, just give that a hard time. To that, some roasted hazelnuts that I'm just going to lightly crush. You just want to break them so they're crunchy in the salad. Just some pomegranate molasses. Give it a quick mix. And this is where the flavour's at. Okay, that's done. Time for the duck. So that duck should be well smoked by now. It's a really good smell. You can see a little bit of that fat has started to render down, but it's not finished yet. We need to get it in the pan. So, hot pan, dash of olive oil. So you want that nice and brown like that. Flip it over, beautiful. And that's going in the oven, 200 degrees, 8 minutes, and it's going to rest for about another 4.
So while that's roasting, one last garnish. This dish needs a little bit of texture, so I've just got some of my cornbread from the dumplings. I'm going to break it up into a crumb, make it nice and crispy in a pan. It's going to be the perfect garnish for that salad and duck. That cornbread is nice and toasted, beautiful and crunchy. On some absorbent paper and get ready to plate up. So a nicely cooked piece of that smoked duck. Some of that fermented garlic puree, just for sweetness. Black cabbage salad. Some of the vinaigrette in the bottom of the bowl, just to dress that duck. Big scoop of cornbread. Maybe a little leaf of sorrel, just as a garnish. That's a killer dish. One of my favourite combinations with hazelnut is peaches. So I'm going to make a peach curd tart with hazelnut and coriander seed crumb. Dead simple recipe.
I add shortbread biscuits, roasted coriander seeds, and dried mint to the blender, and whisk into a crumb.
I'm going to add my hazelnuts. And melted butter. And that's done. Now, just want to make sure when I put it in my tart base that I push it nice and firm so it sets in the fridge and it doesn't crumble when we cut it. You want it about 1/2 centimetre high and in the fridge. All right, the peach curd. Peach puree and butter. While it's melting, I've got some eggs and some sugar. Butter and peach are melted. Now, that's going in there. That's going to get whisked, and then that is going back in there to cook out.
By adding the hot liquid slowly, I prevent the eggs from cooking. Then it's back to the pot to reduce. Then a dash of peach liqueur and a sheet of soaked gelatin is all that's needed to set this mixture in the fridge.
All right, that tart case has set really hard. I've got a little strainer. Just to make sure there's no lumps in this, I'm going to pass it through it. Just don't want to make sure there's any bits of egg or gelatin stuck in that peach curd. And that just needs to go into the fridge now for about 3 to 4 hours until it's totally set. Just what I'm looking for. Nice and firm, totally set. Just need to take it out. So that come up really well. Just gonna garnish it up. Some of these really beautiful fennel flowers. All right, that looks 100 times better. But there's one last thing to finish the dish, the ice cream.
I'm using some caramelised white chocolate ice cream I made earlier.
So just a big scoop, serve on the side. Now that's a tasty dessert. Peach and hazelnut tart, caramelised white chocolate ice cream.